Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're well wherever you are. My name is Penelope, the African princess. I'm an advocate for the girl child. As long as Rimwana Mskana, I love you wherever you are. As long as you doing Shinujiri right and you are striving to better yourself to be the better person that you can be. You've got my love. I love you guys. I love you so much. Anyway, we've had February came. We are now in March. There's a whole lot of things happening in Zimbabwe. And people have my mixed feelings. There are people that are coming and saying, "Oh, at least develop the roads. My roads are kugadzikwa kuHarare. At least itai ma hospitals. At least develop the schools. Improve my salaries, my Zimbabweans." There's a whole list of Zimbabwean people that are living in misery. The amount of money that was given to people, it could have helped a lot of Zimbabweans. Then the drama came, guys. This is a debate. We just want to see if you had $1 million, like Antina Josie inindo supporter hangu Olinda. If you had $1 million, or if you had billions of your US dollars, waizovhuma here kuudzirwa zvekushandisa mari yako? Is it fair kuti people are judging the other guy kuti iwe uri kutengerei chivanhu motikari? Now even the world at large is seeing. I saw the other posts that I think it's some Jamaican American guy that was commenting and wishing this guy kuti Joni, you're doing a good thing by buying people cars. Do you think it is valid? We don't eat roads. We need proper development, create employment. Thank you so much, Elvis. I would also say, if I had $1 million, ndinotamba bhora, ndinobheja bhora. If I win $1 million, izvezvi munomu ndikawina $1 million pounds ndawina kubetwo, sure munondiona ndakutonoita madevelopment kuZimbabwe, even places that I've never been. But I also understand kuti women are different. Vakadzi takasiyana nevarume. This is why you see kuti varume, they can have their money and they can spend it on women vachiita zvinhu zvisina nebasa. Vakadzi the other way round. Tine mweya wekuita we just have that heart ye motherhood. Being a mother does not mean kuti kuvana vangu chete vandakapusha out of my vagina, but it simply means kuti I can be a mother to the nation and make the nation a better place to be. So we need also to understand kuti from a perspective yemunhukadzi, most of the ladies we're saying, but why is he doing this? Can't he even form a foundation so that mukadzi wake can be busy? She's a learned woman. She can help vamwe vana in Zimbabwe. There's so much that they can do with their money, such that even if they start flashing around their capital, atizombovatuke. Gucci lady, my Grace Mugabe, besides kuti she used to wear the most expensive this, the most expensive that, vane foundation, and even now the foundation is running. Inobetsera, you are making a difference in society. The unfortunate thing about cars, ukatenga motikari nhasi, yatodonha value. Cars depreciate. The day you buy the car today, yabuda mugarage yadrivwa nhasi colors. Kana yakudzoka same day, inenge isisiri the same price. Inenge depreciator. So if he is using his money, why can't he create something that will even gain value to the Zimbabwean community, even add value to the Zimbabwean community, so that 5 years from now, 6 years from now, we will still have a beautiful Zimbabwe that we can look back to and say, there was this man who was claimed kuti akamboba mari achishandirana Mugabe, akazoba project yema-solar panel that he was supposed to do and he never delivered. And then the story went on, he started working again, Nana Mnangagwa. But of all people, this is the good thing that he did. Leave a legacy behind. Leave a legacy behind. This terrible part of it, now people are exchanging words. It gets terrible when people start exchanging words. You also start getting the level ye maturity, kana kuti level ye thinking, IQ. I remember this lady, akaenda ku Zimbabwe. She was a Zimbabwean lady. And once upon a time, angariku Big Brother. And she was telling Big Brother, I cannot talk to people. A lot of people are in the house because their IQ is so low compared to mine. I feel this guy with his millions and been exposed so much in the world. He has traveled because he's got the money. Do you think it's necessary for him to be even a cheater, stigmatization to people that have HIV? Because I heard him actually, there's a comment that he wrote on social media, and he was a cheater stigmatization towards Olinda. Achinyora shura matongo. Yes, vana zuga, they cannot read. But kana iye is a person that he claims he is the person that we feel, oh, okay, Zimbabwe, there's also one of people that are in our age that is to the good side, is representing Zimbabweans to the world. As a black young person, you can also have money, guys. It's possible you can also have money. But when you represent in a country or a region, you can't come on social media and start kuparidza stigmatization. I think that was a completely off. That was a completely off. Just like we're saying, kuti munhu ane kodzero yake yeku spend their money. But let's think, guys, we are blessed to be a blessing to others. I can never have money and throw a party. I can't do that. You never see me ndichita a birthday party. You never see me ndichita a clubbing and saying because I have had my money. Maybe nyaya yekuti handisati ndawana mari. But chero ndikazoiwana mari, I don't think I'll be able to do that. But nonetheless, I think madzibaba, the people that he associates now around, you are who your friends are. Makambozvinzwa the saying yekuti iwewe, you are who your friends are. This is why I say ine handina shamwari, because I don't want anyone to say my characteristics eshamwari dzapeni vakamira so, and then people judge me because of my friends' characteristics. I am who I am because I do not have friends. I don't get influence from other people. But kana munhu uchibelieve mapostori, 3/4 of mapostori, they are literally illiterate. Havana zvavanomboziva, havana, guys. I'm not insulting, but I'm being honest. And then you expect kuti a billionaire anoenda achinowana advice from anamadzi baba. Where do you think he would go? Guys, let's be realistic. Makambozviona kuti kune vanhu vanenge vakabudirira but they will go and get advice kunana madzibaba. And you think you can do anything productive by getting advice from ana madzibaba. Auntie Murukuzhinzisisa. Apparently, Sheila Svanda, I'm going to block you. I don't normally block people, but I'm definitely going to block you. And we're not even going to talk about you anymore. We've blocked you. Yes, we've blocked her. So that's the thing. We will never expect anything. Chinem Soro, we will never expect anything from our billionaire in Zimbabwe. Plus, I want people to understand something. Mari imwenyaya again, that guys, I want you to understand. Inini hangu, like what Olinda said in one of the pages, though okay, I think you angachinyepa kana kuti anga iri chokwadi. Olinda ati it is better for me to have my few million iyoyo andinayo, I've worked for it. Olinda ne mascandals ake, but we will not talk about mascandals because Olinda anombo extender achino betserawo the less privileged. But this is one thing I want you guys to understand. Kuti mari yaunenge washanda, your hard-earned money, amumboione ichiflashiwa kudai so. Your hard-earned money yaunenge uchiziva kuti ndakamuka makuseni ndikanoshanda ndikanoita so ndikanoita madhiri angu, mukangoona munhu anoba anospenda mari yake, either zviri reckless, either zviri showy, zvekuti muri kundiona here. Handi muri kuzvinzwisisa. That's the weakness that happens with people. Vanenge vawana mari dzavasina kushandira. They have not put in the effort to understand kuti when you are a millionaire, you are a billionaire, what did it take kuti ushike ipapo? A lot of us, we will receive wealth. We will blow it. If you watch this thing, inoita pa YouTube, yeah, people vanowina mari, vamwe vanoita ma-accident, vopiwa mari, inonzi I blew it. People that can bloom millions and millions, the people that never worked for the money. It's money that came along the way and they had no plan for it. Hanzi ndiko kuromba. Yeah, but I think the sad part, arikutukana nana Zuva, arikutukana nana Olinda. I don't think it's necessary. As my Zimbabweans, guys, isusu ndisu tinenge tichinzi we are the youth yekuZimbabwe. Ndisu ma G40 ekuZimbabwe. Being the G40, we the one that are supposed to be thinking and changing Zimbabwe. Ndisu turikufana kuti kana tagara with the minds dzacho idzodzo. We've got a millionaire anonzi winking now. We've got an Olinda vanozvitiwo they are business people. We've got people anatagwirei vanenge vachiti zvoni ma-investors. Togara pasi, tonyasoplana, toti what can we do? How best can we change Zimbabwe so that even Ana Granny, Ana Mnangagwa can see kuti these young ones, they've got the brains. Prove to them that you've got the brains. When you sit down with people that have made it in life, don't go muchiseka zvozvingoti blazi 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 mdara mdara. Talk the talk. Put ideas. Tine 100,000 on the side What can we do with this 100,000 to make a difference in Zimbabwe? Ogadzira, zvekuti my youth in the locations, my youth in wherever, kumamisha in the rural areas, vanoona kuti they are people, vanema millionaires that are making a change. I want to give you an example as fellow Zimbabweans. I'm not bitter about anyone spending their money, but I want you guys to understand kuti we have the footballer with Chelsea, the dark guy with Chelsea, he's made his money, but anoenda achino develop. Ku Senegal, I think he's a Senegalese, that guy. We've got this guy anoimba Ekon. Mukaenda ku Senegal kumusha kwake. They have lit up all the streets. Solar panel. They are doing projects to improve. People are building schools to say, I went out in the world. I went and I represent Zimbabwe. Dakanowana, I got the opportunity to get the money, and this is what I'm going to contribute to my country. And they come back and they contribute to the country. That's what we are supposed to be doing as the youth here in Zimbabwe. Sema G40, let's prove. Either you are ZANU-PF, you are MDC, you are Triple C, you don't support you don't support the country, you don't support any political power. Be the person that can sit down with everybody else. Muma community where we coming from. Let izvezvi dai tichitaura kuti kumusha kwakaberekwa winki uyu anonzi winki uyu kwatove town. We stop talking about my growth points. We start talking about kwatove town, kwatove more. People vari kuitiswa ma-projects, ma-irrigation projects. Water is essentials to every Zimbabwean. Iswa maboho, 10-10, 20-20 maboho. Go out in the world and make that change. Because change, ndisu, it is not going to come from anywhere else. Sema Zimbabweans. We are the generation that has failed. Both anababa vedu nevana vedu. We are the generations. Vanhu vari you're 35 going to 45. We have become the useless generation. Because hatina chatiri kugona to make the change in the world. The only thing that we can do is we talk about clothes. We talk about cars. We talk about the rides. Who's got the Gucci glow? Guy, it's really important. Imagine if your mother, your father, or the future fathers, they were not able to build schools for us. If they were not able, kumira vachitishoni, let's create my community clubs. I grew up in a mine area. My father was a miner. He had a good job. We were privileged kuma clubs. You went to Mirio Mine, there was a club where community people would go. People that grew in Shabani Mine, we had the Shabani Mine Club. It was beautiful. It was it was something that every other child would go and get. You'd play tennis, you'd play basketball. Iko jino mumakomboni ari kuZimbabwe, hapana kana center kana one. Yekuti the youth, they can get something from it. That's who we've become as a Zimbabwean community. It's unfortunately, atina Tawanda, munanoita zvaanoda. I do understand Tawanda kuti munanoita zvaanoda. But what we are saying is, let's strive to be the better human beings that we can be to everybody else. Hazvitomborambidzwe mufunge. And azvinyadzise futi. You can decide to say, I'm going to make a difference. Mari ndeyako, yes, ndeyako. It's not going to change, kuti mari haizi yake. Imari yake. But what we're saying is, as a human being, why don't you strive also to say, Kana Tawanda, if you buy your car today, I want to give you an example. If you buy your car today at 100,000 and I buy land for 100,000 and in Tikavandati, I want to empower the youth. Nodakuva buildira probably maybe a recreational club where they can spend time instead of kutiva pute forjga. They can go and do my activities. Ondo try kugadzira ka industry. Machina iko zvino ari kuuya kuZimbabwe. There are quite a number of Chinese people in vari kuZimbabwe. Vari kuuya vari kugadzira mazirafta aya tinofeka aya anonzi machi mazirafta aya. Pane mazirafta tinofeka mamwe mazirafta so anogadzirwa tinomaona mavidhio ipapa machinery inongotengwa mapatapata. Saka, this is what happens, guys. You can create work for fellow Zimbabweans. Motikari yatengwa, mota yakatengwa ya Japreza. I'm going to give you a very good example because pavanhu vese vakapiwa motikari. Japreza is the only one who's able to take that car to service. Japreza is the only person anokwanisa kumaintaina, even akaita puncher anokwanisa kutenga rimwe vhiri rinyuwani. As much as iri haina kana yaJapreza maybe haina kusvika kana kuMpare kune zvimarodhi zvakafafa, yakaenda ikaenda kuBhorokudhe kumadhodho kunogara Japreza. I don't know where Japreza stays, but I will assume he stays in a very nice suburb and he's definitely not using that car as his first priority yekuti pandinenge nchifunga kuenda kumashops ndofamba nechimota ichi. It's going to be maybe his third or fourth or seventh car. So what I'm simply saying is Japreza uya motikari as good as it's in good hands na Japreza. Musiwa yakabuda mgarage mota iyaya yakatoluza value. Kana yaiita 80,000 iko zvino yakuita 60,000 or 55,000. We have already lost mari. As a Zimbabwean community, we have lost money. Even tichiti anoda no munhu anotenderwa kuita zvaanoda, but we have already lost money. As a Zimbabwean community, we are empowering majerimani ari kugadzira motikari dziadzi. Handizivi people that do cars, you can tell us kuti kuGermany ndiko kunogadzirwa mabenzeri. Those people that love cars, you know kuti probably those are German cars. The people that are benefiting more, vanhu vakagadzira motikari dziadzi. You buy a car for 100,000, you give people who are worth 5,000, they can't afford to buy fuel, and then you say you can do whatever you want with your money. Then monzwa Olinda ouya oti even inini ndakatenga wheelchair ye 500, I am making a difference in people's lives. Hatishore Olinda, guys. Olinda munhu atoziva zvaari kuita nekutenga ma-wheelchair. Imagine if you could buy 500 wheelchair and he moves around distributing those 500 wheelchairs in Zimbabwe. We would all be saying there is Murume Anemsoro. But this is what Michelle Obama has always said. Behind a successful man, there's always that woman that can say to the man, you do this, you do that, you do that, and you do that. So the problem we have is people that people marry also. Because kana uchiona murume wako achiporonga and you still allow it. I remember Michelle Obama saying, chero dai ndanga ndisina kuroorwa na Obama. murume wandairoorwa naye aita president. Because it is not about Obama, it is the power behind the wives that we marry. Varume vese vari panapa muri kundinzwisisa zvandiri kutaura. It is sometimes the men need a woman that is there. I remember pakamboitika murambachina kuZimbabwe. I remember pakamboitika murambachina kuZimbabwe. My grandmother had died. I couldn't go to Zambia to bury my grandmother. My sweetheart said, let's go and mourn Gogo. And we went to Mtare. We were booked Holiday Inn. It was okay. I was mourning. I needed some space. And then that was the time paita Mrambachina. I experienced Mrambachina. Diri kwa Mtare. It was sad. It was sad. Kubva musi iwowo ndakati handidi kana kuona mai mjuru. Kubva musi iwowo ndakati handidi kana kumboona vanonzi Grace Mugabe. Because if women can allow such pain to happen, if you are married to a very influential human being that can make a difference in society, and you still watch and say, ha baba vanoita zvavanoda, then you are not worth to be called the wife that you are being called. Because as the wife, you also supposed to play your role to say, baba, make the change, help the needy. Domoyo watakapuwa as women. Yes, they are allowed to do what they want with their money. They are allowed to do with their money. 100% you are right. But at the end of the day, the reason why we come and talk about Zimbabwe is because Zimbabwe, the state of affairs to Zimbabwe, if we don't talk about Zimbabwe, then we are not humans at all. If I don't come pano pa social media ndotaura about Zimbabwe, ndokuudzai kuti isusu semaZimbabweans, we need to change, guys. We definitely need to change. There are no two ways. We need to change. And if we don't put the effort to encourage each other, kuti isusu as Zimbabweans, let's try to do something. Anababa vedu, they did well. My father was one of those people that went and built Kariba Dam. He sacrificed. There were a lot of people who died vachivaka Kariba Dam, but my father was one of them. After Apedza, he went into Zambia and he married my Zambian mother. That's how he met my mother. So my father has got a history where he's going to say, we were there, we built Kariba Dam. We went tikanoita Munyati, tabva ipapo tikaenda tikanoita Munyati Dam, yainzi Kyle Dam. They were there. They sacrificed what they had to make the world a better place. Isusu maG40 tuitei, besides kushainirana nema expensive cars, besides kushainirana nekuti ndindakapfeka Gucci. Mamwe malabels anonzani, ina ntombozivi malabels, guys. Ntombozivi nongoza kuti kude Gucci, kude chi mamwe ameno mamwe malabels. Those are the only thing that we have. Those are the only thing that we have. Unfortunately, it's become a trend. We had, if anyone would come Panapa and say, do you remember a Ginimbi? There was once a Ginimbi. What do you know Ginimbi about? Oh, it's this guy who used to move around. Dude, close the door, it's cold. I will go and wear those things inside, Moose. Close my door, it's cold. So we knew there was a Ginimbi. And the only thing we know about Ginimbi is the White Party and his expensive cars. Yes, he built his house. Those are the only things I know about Ginimbi. Unfortunately, his sister later passed on. There's another story about the other person. He has left no legacy. Sisina, 10 years from now, no one is even going to know who was a Ginimbi. pamunofamba muchiona mabuilding akanyorwa mazita, those people were not madhara, those people were not government. Vanga vachitori G40 akaita sesu kuti they would make a difference in people's life. Vanoenda chotonoita ningirikini, anoenda munhu otoiti, I want to contribute to the world, I want to contribute and make our country a better place. Ana Rihanna, they've become one of the richest people in the world. She goes kunyika kwake and she's making a difference. Saka kuZimbabwe, are we that cursed as a nation kuti chero tikaona vanhu vanoita mari, atina godo kuti maita mari, guys. Tinongoshuvira kuti nemari yenyu itai muchibetserawo community. Chete chete, make the difference in the community. There is so much suffering and there's no one that we see anobetsera vanhu. It's like kuZimbabwe, I remember Strife Masiwa achitaura kuti the only thing that we do when we have the money in Zimbabwe is to show kuvairirana nenyaya dzemotikari kuti I have. If you see me ndakudriver motikari iri, okay, I've driven a 2.4 Baki. I think that's the most expensive car I've driven. One of those big Mazi Isus, that's the biggest car I've driven. But you would never see me going into those fancy cars, no matter kwanzi irupiwa mahara. I'll even start, I'm at that stage in my life where I'm like, I'm living my life for a purpose, to make a difference in people's lives. I'm not on this planet to come and show people kuti I can wear my wig, I can be the most expensive person standing in the room. No. I want kuti when I leave this world, if I can, Mwari, let me build a certain school that will be called Penelope African Princess. 20 years, 100 years when I'm gone, the school will still be there and said, we read about the Mother Teresas. They were human beings. They were young. They were once even to my virgin. Vakatozvagwa vakakura na Mother Teresa vatinoverenga nanhasi mumabhuku. Kuti there was a woman called Mother Teresa, an Indian person. Why can't we also have one of those Zimbabwean person that's going to be? I'm a proud Zimbabwean. I worked and I got my money as much as things we had in Zimbabwe. And I'm going to make the change in Zimbabwe and let Vanu know me of the good deeds. Okay, let me add you. Pane munhu ada kujoina, let me add you. We're not saying kuti vanhu avakwanise kushandisa their money. Oh my gosh. Oh, Canada. Ada, let me do this. Let me do that. Okay, yeah. Ndikutraya kuku Ada. I try Ada, can I? I'm trying to add someone. So that's the thing, guys. Let's strive to be better people in life. Hembe dzinotengwa dzigovharuka. Hembe dzinotengwa after some time. Every year, I always watch the fashion thing, inoitika ku France, Italy. There's always the catwalk where people vanoenda vonoona ma-designer clothes. And after the designer clothes, ukatenga Gucci this year, next year kuti urambe uchifeka unenge watosara. And ukavakira munhu kamba kake. Imagine if this chivauro guy would take 80,000. Let's say pamari yese yaakaspenda, ngatingotora about 300,000. Ovovakira vanhu, ma-singers. We've had ma-singers, we've had ma-footballers in Zimbabwe. People that were playing for the national team in Zimbabwe. People that have sang songs. And now, havana kana pension scheme. Ovavakira dzimba. Had he gone and built low scheme houses, when we talk about low scheme houses, it's just not very expensive houses, but I guess one vanoita building, or you'd understand when we say low scheme houses. You put the cheapest amount of money that you can in it. Ovakira kana vanhu 100 people, and people benefit from that. And you call that neighborhood the Chivauro compound. Your name will go forever. You shall be worshipped forever. Because you are making a difference to people. Ana vanhu vari kutoreceiva anonzani ana fantana havatorina kana dzimba, havana kana mastand, munhu ari kutogara namai vake. Ana secolors haatorina kana stand. What would you prefer kuti uvakire secolors a 2-bedroomed flat apartment in a decent neighborhood? You can even make it a villa, oti kana kupa mazita kuti evana vako kuti ningi compound, ningi compound, and ovakira mazimbabweans iwawo wadzimba, then they have a decent to their life. Motikari inonakidza ichiri mushop, but after yangofambwa motikari idzodzo dzafambiwa kumbare nekupi nekupi dzatoluza value. Mota dzemazivano dzinenge dzine matreka dzinotooneka nemarodhi adzaifamba. Remember when Peter Pamire, I was doing form 6 time dzedu pataive panga pana na Philip Chiyangwa, ndipo pakatanga na Philip Chiyangwa, ana Saviour Kaskuvere, and Peter Pamire. He came in as a very, very, very popular person, and then he was involved in a car accident. Achidriver Pajero yake, ndo mazuva akabuda Pajero. And they said the road anga nema potholes. People then were kwainzi Pajero, it's a new car, it's a German car, it's got my safety features, and blah 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 blah. There was a technical fault from the manufacturers. The manufacturers came and said, no, it was the potholes in Zimbabwe that caused the accident. Motikari haina any fault. This car has been made and fixed. Kufamba neshakanaka. So motikari dzaita 20,000 because dzatofamba kuzvimarodhi zvekuti makamboona rodhi yekumbare kuti dzinenge dzakaita sei. Ndiko kwavanogara. If this guy is ever listening or ever watching my videos, I appreciate that you are a billionaire. I don't know if you are a billionaire or you are a millionaire in our generation, which is very nice. We are all aspiring to become like you. But you can one day just wake up and decide that even my pastor I support ZANU-PF, muchinamata navo, 3/4 of those people havana dzimba. Build them houses, empower them, guys. Don't give vanhu sugar. Musavape sugar. Vapei zvinhu zvekuti vanoitawo better in their lives. Build them houses. You want to empower them. You can get land for free. Muzimbabwe. Build them houses. God, even buy a town. Unokwanisa kutenga land iri pakati peChegutu neKadoma. Otovaka otonzi kwave nenew town inonzi Chivauro. And you build your own place. Let's help people. We are blessed to be a blessing to others. Marie, we were born without it. God has given us the privilege to have it. Chokwadi ndechekuti patinofa muchaisiya iripo panapa pasi. Hakuna munhu anoenda nemari 6 feet down. So it is what you do with the money that people will still remember you with. The difference that you're going to do with the money is what people are going to remember you with. Kana vanhu vakasa, if you don't do anything, chine musoro, people will never remember you. Yes, I know about the Gwanda project. In Ina, I do my solar. Hanzi naSheila first time Penelope kutaura zvine musoro. Ndogara ndakataura zvine musoro. People don't follow people vanotaura zvine musoro. But we just encouraging each other. Sema G40. My G35, you are 35 old, you are, to the nearest you are 40. If you are 45, to the nearest you are 40. So we have people vari 40, 35 to 45. Nemamwe ma50-year-old. Muri maG40. Isusu ndisu tine basa maG40 acho. We've been blessed. Kana mawana zvamawana, even ukasaenda kumba kana mutaundi, kumamisha kwatakabva kunoda kudevelop. One thing I've learned in UK, kwandiri kutogara inini kumaprazi, but vanhu vakagadzira nyika inonzi UK kana kuti kuEurope, maprazi avo haaiti semaprazi. Munenge muchivati tuma small town. Takagara kutuma small town. So at what point are we as Africans going to move from rural to develop ma small towns kumamisha kwedu? Let everyone ari mumamisha owana electricity. Tochaga mabhoho vanhu vowana mvura. Isa mabhoho chivauro. Anonzi chivauro. Isa mabhoho kana 10,000. There's a guy I follow on Facebook. Ari kubva kuAmerica, guys. Ari pa social media panapa. Ari kuifamba achiisa mabhoho muma-African countries. And Zimbabwe yakatoisirwawo mabhoho. Imagine the mockery. We have to wait for an American guy to come to Zimbabwe kuzotiisira mabhoho. Isusu tine maZimbabweans who can afford kuita mabhoho, but they are buying motikari. And we have a number of Zimbabweans that will say, munhu anoita zvaanoda nemotikari yake. Munhu anoita zvaanoda nemari yake. I thought that was my take. Let's pray for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is for everyone, guys. Zimbabwe is not about Chamisa. Zimbabwe is for everyone. If we want to see the positive change, yeku-Zimbabwe inotanga nesu mayouth. Vari mapositions ekuti munokwanisa zvenyu kututa mari, munokwanisa kuve ne-influence to tell the people who are tongering Zimbabwe. Encourage them, give them ideas kuti dai tikaita so nyika yedu inonaka vakuru. Plus mukavakawo kana kuti chikoro chiya chisisina machairs, vana vechikoro vari kugara pasi, ende tinotenga machairs 2,000 tonopa chikoro. People will be happy. Iswa napovo Penelope tinotenga ma-sanitary pads, tinotenga ma-exercise book, just to make a difference. Kuvana vatisingatombozivi, but the fact yekuti anosvika vana voenda kuchikoro vachinonyora. God will continue blessing you. Pane one day after you are gone, people are going to come and say, paive pane murume akasara vaka chikoro chese chamuri kuona ichi. Pakatanga pamboita Smith paanga akavaka chikoro ichi. 20 years, 40 years later, pane muZimbabwean mwana mudiki ainzi Chivauro akazoita revamp futi chikoro ichi, akazovaka futi mablocks ese awari papa manyuwani. Ndiye akavaka. It goes a long way. 10, 20 years, 40 years again, ndiwo nenge wakutaurwa zita rako. Isama structures. Poita grand opening kuti pano ndepava Chivauro vakadoneta pano. Motikari dzamuri kutenga dzatodona value. Dzamaitenga nhasi vanhu vanga vachiti motikari yaJapreza yakaita 80,000. Yakaita 80 here kana kuti 180. I think yakaita 80,000 US dollars. Today the same car is now 55,000. Saka yato depreciate, money gone to the drain. 1 year later, inenge yakutengeswa yakunzi 25,000. Saka pa 25 tatorasikirwa ne60 or 70,000 dollars in the drain. I love you guys. Stay blessed. And I just pray and hope we will have business people from Zimbabwe. Vakaita sana Strife Masiwa. The Masiwas are doing quite an incredible job in Zimbabwe. If you follow them, Anema charity organization, he's got schools, he's got scholarships that he does. And Strife Masiwa, Nigel Chanakira, James Makamba, those are the first people patakatanga tichikura tichinzwa kuti wow, kwatove nevanhu vari kurana mafoni. They've given back to the community. They might not be staying in the country, but they are giving back to vanhu vari kuZimbabwe. So even if you are not in Zimbabwe, you can still make the difference to the Zimbabwean community. Pafeya, if we don't do anything, hakuna kwatiri kuenda as the Zimbabwean community. Last and foremost, I just want to say thank you also to Olinda. The little steps she makes sometimes. People might think kuti ari kuvhaira or what. A friend of mine once said to me, kana uchikwanisa kubetsera munhu une $500, unokwanisa kuzobetsera munhu kana wave ne10,000. Olinda tikamunamatira akaita 100 million. Tinotoziva kuti Olinda achaita mawara achitenga maambulance, achaita mawara achitenga mibhedha. Saka Mwari, thank you for her. We just need to thank people like that. As at least anotombofungawo kuumba kwake kuZimbabwe kuti kuZimbabwe kune crisis. Let me help. I love you guys. Stay blessed and good night.